Previously on Blue Healers.
Hello, Senior Sergeant Croydon.
What brings you back here?
Just want my car back.
Your car, I believe, Miss Baxter.
Johnny Baxter. Dig up! Dig up!
Tony and Ryan. Proving is going to be the problem.
Search him.
He planted that dope on me.
Did you do the search personally?
Yeah, and the joints were definitely in his pocket.
No cannabis in the property offices?
Not that I know of, no.
Okay.
It's been a pretty nice career for you, hasn't it? Good rank. Respect of the community. Be ashamed to blow all that over a failing of duty to care.
Holland, I'm suspending you.
Suspend me, I go straight to ESD. If I go, you go with me.
Oh, Jesus.
What?
It's the boss's rental.
Tom! Boss! Are you there? Tom! Tom!
He's not here.
Wedding ring.
He wasn't home.
And he hasn't been since yesterday, so... You think...
It could be anyone. Why would the boss be on the road to Melbourne anyway? He was probably a car thief. He stole the boss's rental, lost her on the curve, and then crashed.
Then why isn't he home?
Because maybe he went out for dinner, maybe he stayed out.
Detective?
There'll be no formal ID until the autopsy.
But informally.
I don't know.
It's him. It's a boss. It's what my dad gave him.
All right, everyone. I know that we have all been hoping that there's been some sort of mistake here, but looks like the news is as bad as it can be. Look, I know how hard this is, but there are still things that we need to do, OK? Joss, need you to contact Sergeant Holland.
He's on arrest, though.
Yep, I know he is, but he doesn't need to hear the news on the radio, OK? Tom's daughter? BJ?
Oh, I'll give her a call.
Yep, lives in Melbourne, doesn't she?
Hi, I've come to talk about the Christmas party. You said you'd send someone over. What's the matter?
Okay, just a sec. I can't get hold of Roy. He's gone fishing.
Right, well, has he got his mobile with him?
It's out of range.
Hope he falls in.
Good. I'll give you a call in a couple of hours. Okay.
Tom's daughter?
Tom rang her last night out of the blue. Said he was going to visit her.
That's why he was on the road to Melbourne.
Crap, you know? They finally made contact after everything that's happened, and then this accident!
Come on, PJ, you saw the house. I mean, this isn't a man who had a lot to live for. We're a week out from Christmas. He's lost his wife, his dog. I mean, you know how many suicides we have to deal with.
No! He wouldn't do that.
Look, there was a curve in the road, but you'd have to be trying bloody hard to have an accident.
Maybe there's another reason.
There is no way that Tony and Ryan are responsible for this.
Tony and Ryan killed Tom's dog. Tony and Ryan torched Tom's vehicle. Stands to reason they've torched his rental.
Oh, look. Hawk. You here to arrest us?
All right, first time. It's your MO, Decker. Not enough for you to torch Senior Sergeant Croydon's car. You had to deal with him in it.
When was this?
You know exactly when this was.
When was it?
Last night, 10:20. You know how we know the exact time? Because it's on the watch that's burnt onto his wrist.
I was with Tony.
Well, check your vehicle, Tony. If there's so much as a paint chip on your
Check
bumper
away!
bar.
Who are we supposed to run off the road anyway?
Tom Croydon.
Miserable, lying old bastard. Is he saying we ran him off the road?
He's not saying anything. He's dead.
It's over.
She didn't do it.
She's the only one with a motive.
Maybe, but that girl was hearing the news for the first time.
They torched his first car, now his rental. It's too much of a coincidence.
The boss wanted to get at them and couldn't. Maybe this was his way. Kill two birds.
Oh, I don't believe that. I just don't believe it.
Everything all right? Right, look, I'm going to need one of you to go down to Melbourne for the autopsy.
No worries.
PJ, I think...
It's fine. I haven't...
I'll go.
You must get this a bit.
How do you mean?
Well, not the first time I've seen this from a country bloke. Wants to take himself out. Uses his vehicle as a weapon, 250. We'll know for sure soon enough. Fingertip to elbow is 480.
Well, this could have been a genuine accident.
For sure. 400. But most genuine accidents don't get up the speed to set fire to the car, much less incinerate it. My guess, he accelerated hard off a bend in order to get it up the necessary velocity to make this a one-way trip. Was it on a bend?
What have you done? You've trashed his office.
No, it was like this.
Well, it was fine when I came in here yesterday afternoon to get the boss to... He's only been gone 5 minutes.
Look, Kelly, I don't want to be here either. But under the current circumstances, I am acting OC, simple chain of command. Now, Constable, I need people who can put aside their relationship with Tom and concentrate on finding out what happened to him.
Detailed signing.
.680. Leg length, hip to toe is 1,010. Overall height, 175 centimetres. Weight, 90 kilos. So, have an adult male aged somewhere between 40 and 50. Dental work confirms fillings of a type done after 1978.
What was that weight again?
90 kilos. Don't forget, fat melts. You have to allow shrinkage from the heat. He could have weighed as much as 10 kilos heavier.
Things aren't adding up. There's a chance that's not the boss.
Well, where is he? Why didn't he turn up for work today? You know, why did he just disappear?
If he was on his way to Melbourne, he didn't take his rental last night, how else would he have got there? Please, just check the trains and the buses for last night.
Do you need me?
No, I'm fine. Joss, where's Evan and Susie?
Sent them to the pub.
Ah, that's right. Get them on the radio, will you? And I've got a job for you down at the bus depot, OK?
Well, he didn't take the train, so it looks like PJ's long shot is just that.
You heard these stories about the boss? Might not have been an accident.
Well, who's saying that?
I heard PJ and Amy. This is your first Christmas without your brother. Oh, what's this?
Christmas time.
I don't care which you make up your bloody mind.
You know what? You can keep the damn taxi.
Listen, I don't care.
Merry Christmas.
I was working till 4 this morning.
We've been here over an hour.
You're working till 4.
Do you expect me to give up a good job?
But you got a big job?
To Melbourne.
When?
Last night. Seemed like a good idea at the time. $300 cash. Lost it all.
Who was it?
I don't get to Melbourne much. Thought I'd check out the casino.
Who was it?
Black. Had to come up eventually.
Ferguson? Who did you take?
Your boss, Tom Croydon. You wanted to listen to some country and western music station.
Where did you drop him off?
Boss! Boss!
What the... Oh, God.
Give me that. I didn't ask you to come.
Excuse me for saving you from choking on your own vomit.
A bad old dog.
What? Food poisoning?
I got it at the joint down the road. I should have known better.
Your daughter thinks you're dead. Burnt to death in your own car. Your rental, it ran off the road? Did you lend it to someone?
No, of course not.
Well, someone's dead in your car, or more specifically at the morgue. What the hell is going on here?
Nothing is going on. I came down to see Susan. When I got here, I was too tired. I asked Ferguson to...
Tired?
Drop me at the first pub he could find. That rental car was parked behind the police station. Someone must have stolen it.
So how did they get the keys?
Must have left them in it.
They were wearing your watch?
Well, I must have left that in it as well.
So what were you doing in a taxi in the first place?
So someone stole my rental car, crashed it, and now they're dead.
Must have run out of control.
No. Somebody ran that car off the road because they thought it was me in the driver's seat. Tony Baxter and Ryan Decker.
This is a terrible idea.
They think I'm dead.
You're the last person in the world who should be talking to them.
Because you're doing such a good job.
Well, it's good enough to save you from drowning in your own vomit.
You should have saved yourself the trouble.
You know, if you're going to act like an idiot, you can do this on your own. I'm not helping you.
Suit yourself.
It'll be your word against theirs. Won't stand up in court.
You're turning into a gutless wonder, you know that?
Hi.
Double stuff up, Tani. You didn't kill me, and you're going to get done for murder for the poor soul you killed by mistake.
We didn't kill anyone.
We've got alibis. Your sergeant had to let us go. You've got nothing.
We will. Forensics have barely started on the car.
We never went anywhere near your car.
I've never even seen it.
You've never seen my rental?
No.
And you said so in your interview?
That's right. You won't find so much as a fingerprint.
What about the hair? You see, when it comes to evidence, it doesn't much matter what you say. If forensics finds so much as a single strand of your hair in that vehicle, then your DNA says you were there. One strand. Blonde. I mean, you've already said you had no legitimate reason to be anywhere near that car. You didn't accidentally lean against it in the street. Your hair didn't blow in through the window as you were walking past the station. You've already said so in your interview. So if forensics finds a single strand of hair in that car, that says you're the killer. I might drop by forensics later, just out of curiosity. I'm sure they won't mind. It's funny how many times forensics think they've got everything. They go over the vehicle one last time and they find that last little bit of evidence.
You can't do this!
Can't I? After what you and your family have done to me, I reckon I can pretty much do what I like.
Boss. Oh, I'm so glad.
It's really good to see you, boss.
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
Sorry about your window. We've boarded it up until the glazier can get onto it.
You broke into my house.
Well, we had to check that you weren't home.
It pleases me enormously to know you're all so incompetent you've spent all your time chasing me instead of trying to identify the real victim. I hope you can explain this to the poor joyrider's parents when they turn up looking for their dead son.
Where are you going?
Well, I'm going to go and see him, of course.
No, I wouldn't.
Why?
He's just not in the best mood, Chris.
Mark said something about the Christmas decorations.
You were right. I was wrong. The boss didn't top himself. Such a vision of good cheer and happiness, I don't know how I could possibly have thought he was suicidal.
What are your plans for Chrissy?
Oh, usual Rayner family catastrophe. Too many presents, too much food, too many people. All the nieces and nephews stuffing their faces with every lolly and chocolate they can get their hands on. By 3 o'clock, the ones that aren't running around the lounge room in a red cordial frenzy of chucking their guts up in the bathroom.
Well, sounds like a shocker.
Yeah, it is.
Should come over to our place.
You mean the commander? I don't think so.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't mean that.
No. Try some red ones, eh?
Postmortem's finished. Our victim wasn't burnt to death. He was already dead before the fire started.
Right, how did he die?
Skull bashed in.
Preliminary forensics confirms foul play. The fire started in combustible material in the vehicle, and the explosion was set off when the fire ruptured the fuel line.
Right, so it wasn't just some joyriding kid, eh?
It's a deliberate act.
If the killer was deliberately targeting the victim...
You would have known it wasn't Tom.
Which rules out Ryan and Tony.
Yes, which puts us in an even worse situation. I mean, we haven't got a lead on the killer. We don't even know who the victim is.
Sarge,
What is it?
that was Roy's fishing partner.
And?
And Roy hasn't turned up at the lake, and his mate's cheesed off because he's been waiting for him there all day.
He hasn't been fishing all day.
No.
Joss, when you reported this morning that Roy had gone fishing, how exactly did you establish that fact?
Well, because the woman at the Colonel Thomas Motor Inn said that's what he was planning to do.
Planning to do? Did the woman at the Colonel Thomas Motor Inn actually say he'd gone fishing?
No.
We'll find out if he's returned. We all thinking the same thing?
We would want to kill Roy.
Would you like that list alphabetically?
Why didn't you make a formal complaint?
Would you have believed me?
Yes, Kelly, I would have believed you.
Yeah, right. Trainee versus a sergeant.
I take any allegation made by any member against another member very seriously indeed. Especially with sexual harassment.
Anyway, I did make a complaint yesterday to the boss.
He didn't mention any of that to me.
Me either.
Yep.
We've confirmed the identity of the body in your rental.
It's Roy Holland. We've got his dental records.
Roy?
Yeah.
Someone bashed him over the head, then used your car to dispose of the body.
Boss, Kelly told us that she told you that Roy had made unwanted sexual advances towards her. Is that correct?
Yes.
So, did you talk to him about this?
Of course I did. I informed Sergeant Holland that I was appalled by the allegations from both Darryl Burke and Constable O'Rourke, and that if there was any substance to the allegations, I'd have him drummed out of the police force.
You've known Kelly's family for quite some time, haven't you?
You're surely not implying that I'm a suspect.
Any idea about how he got to be in your rental?
No.
Or wearing your watch?
No.
Right, we'll keep you informed then.
Hey, you going somewhere? Yeah, I've got a date. Oh, yeah? Anyone I know?
I kiss and tell.
Hey, where is everyone? Beer, thanks, Chris. Long day.
Weird day.
Yeah. First people are dead, and then suddenly they're alive. And other people are alive, and then suddenly they're dead.
Yeah, well, this one I won't be shedding any tears over.
So I didn't know any of that stuff between Kelly and Roy. I just hate to think that there was anything that you didn't feel like you could talk to me about.
Hey, you know what we were saying earlier about Christmas time? Well, I was thinking, you know, it's not such a bad idea breaking with family tradition. So why don't you come to my place?
What, the Rayner family catastrophe? I seem to remember a vision of overfed aunts and vomiting kids. Sounds awful, Tar.
Yeah, well, it's not. It's kind of pretty wonderful. I'm gonna have an early night.
So, got any plans for Christmas?
I'll probably just flush myself down the toilet, Chris.
Right. Non-traditional then.
Guess that's what happens when you poke your pecker in too many places.
You get burnt.
Yep, and he was just an all-over wanker in the end. Wonder if you can have that on his tombstone. Rest in peace, wanker.
Constables? I've just been on the phone to Roy Holland's mother. She'll be here sometime tomorrow to collect his belongings. I'd prefer she didn't hear that kind of talk.
Yeah, all right. But just because he's dead, you can't expect us to pretend that we liked him.
You just don't get it, do you? If you'd had the guts to report Roy to me from the beginning, none of this would have happened.
You can't be saying that I've
He's
got...
dead, partly because of you. That is exactly what I'm saying.
That is harsh.
It's not as harsh as lying on a slab down at the morgue, Susie. If you'd reported Roy to me from the beginning, I might have been able to stop him. Before his killer did. Hey, Roy didn't smoke, did he?
I didn't think so, no.
No, neither did I. You got a hanky? Bring it over here.
Number 84, I called out that number for ages and no one claimed it. Where did you get these?
Any idea who owns this?
Yeah, of course, it's Merv Pools.
We got a problem.
Mate, we've always got problems.
I found this in Roy Holland's locker.
Dope.
Belonging to Merv Poole. You remember Tom was called down to the pub on Monday? 2 hours later, Tom charges Ryan with possession. Now, those joints look remarkably similar to the ones we found on Ryan, yeah? Then Tom and Roy have their secret little discussion. Roy somehow ends up with this cigarette case.
What? Are you saying that Tom fitted up Ryan? Roy found out, and then Roy confronted Tom?
No, I'm not saying anything. I don't know what I'm saying, but whatever it is I'm saying, I thought I'd say it to you first.
Well, where would you come with this?
Know where I want to go, believe me.
Because the next step is Roy Holland ends up dead.
Hey.
I killed Roy.
Well, there are some questions that
then they should be put to me in the interview room. And shouldn't you be advising me of my rights?
We don't need to go that far.
So we can get the police association in if you want to. They can get it all down on tape. But if you didn't kill Roy, then why make it hard for everyone, eh? So how did Roy end up in your rental car?
I've no idea. It was here on Monday night when I left.
Right, so if the rental's in the car park, the key's in the ignition, what'd you take a taxi for?
I was tired. It seemed sensible to have someone else do the driving.
What, $300 worth?
It's only money.
Because you wanted to see your daughter.
That's not a crime, I hope.
So why didn't you see her?
Didn't you tell him?
Right, the food poisoning. Wouldn't have anything to do with what's in your bottom drawer, would it?
What's going on?
I work back alone. I had a couple of drinks. Enough to ring my daughter, then too much to drive. When I got to Melbourne, I couldn't do it. I got Ferguson to drop me at a hotel, any hotel. Then I bought another bottle. And that's how I spent Monday night.
Well, you found him in Melbourne yesterday morning. You didn't say what condition he was in.
He wasn't in great shape.
Right, so his story about going on a bender?
He told the truth about
but
that.
you didn't.
A man goes on a bender one day in his life. You think I'm going to start gossiping about him?
There's an expression for that.
Yeah, being a good mate.
No, accessory after the fact.
What?
Mate, there is nothing to say that Tom didn't kill Roy, dump the car, flag the taxi down, and piss off to Melbourne. Hey, how do you know? How do you know that his bender wasn't inspired by guilt? And how do I know any of this if you're concealing evidence?
Because if you're going by timelines, I could have done it. I don't have an alibi.
Eh? What, did you kill Roy Holland?
What?
Why not?
Because I don't have a motive, I don't have reason.
No, Tom does, though. He's got a motive, he's got reason, he's got the body in his rental, and he's fled to Melbourne, and then he spins all these stories about food poisoning and going on a bender. Mate, his story stinks.
You are missing one thing here. Character. That man has never, not once, crossed the line.
Until now. He crossed the line when he didn't charge Merv with possession. If he fitted Ryan up, that's another step. Killing Roy, it's the next logical step over the line, PJ.
The Tom Croydon I have known for the last 10 years is not a killer.
Yeah, well, listen, mate, the Tom Croydon I've known for the past couple of months is capable of anything.
PJ,
Hey.
you and the Sarge have been talking to the boss a bit, and I hope it's not about what I said, or telling him that Roy had come on to me. I mean, boss isn't a suspect, is he?
Kel, do you think Tom could kill anyone?
No, never.
It's just that he has had a rough trot lately, and people do change.
Not on the inside. You can't change. You just are what you are. The boss is rock solid. He's dependable, he's unchanging, and... PJ, he's good.
You want to help prove that?
You bet.
Okay. Well, I need you to get hold of Roy's mobile records. Check out his movements the night before last. Go.
What are you doing?
I'm trying to put a timeline together for Roy's movements the night before last.
PJ, I'm with Mark on this. It's the boss's movements that are dodgy.
Yeah, and you thought he committed suicide. That doesn't look like a corpse to me, right?
What have you got?
Okay, according to the witness at the motel, she reports seeing Roy's vehicle leaving at about 9.
And returning?
Just before midnight.
Well, that's impossible. According to the pathologist, he's already dead by midnight.
She saw the car returning. She didn't see the driver. So the killer bashes Roy, puts him in Tom's rental, and tortures it.
And then drives Roy's car back to the motel.
I got those phone records you're after. Roy called Shailene Burke's mobile at 8:47.
The girl he gave the iPod to.
And when he left the pub the night before last, he said he had a hot date.
And so he went to meet her.
Yeah, he was practically boasting about it.
Well, where did they go for 3 hours? I mean, they weren't at the motel, and they sure couldn't go back to her place.
Maybe they came here. I mean, Roy crossed paths with the rental somehow. Tom's car was parked out the back.
Why would they come here in the first place? It's not exactly a love shack.
Oh, are you kidding? This is right up Roy's alley. Horse around in the station, play with the handcuffs, have sex on the boss's desk.
But how does Roy end up dead? I mean, how does a 15-year-old girl knock a grown man over the head and dispose of the body?
Well, Shailene's not the one that made the complaint against Roy.
I didn't kill him.
Geez, I would have. I've got a daughter about the same age. You know, you think the hard bit's over when you get past the 2 hours sleep, so you start getting a bit of sleep, get through all the little dramas growing up, broken bone, first day at school. Jeez, then they start dating. It's bad enough when she brings home a boy, eh? Remember what you were like at that age? Only had one thing on your mind? And then she brings home Roy Holland.
When he called, I sneaked out to meet him.
Where?
Here.
At the station?
Roy thought it would be fun to, you know, do it. And he wanted to stick it to his boss.
You were in the senior sergeant's office.
Roy even put on his boss's hat. And the watch on his desk.
The watch on the desk?
Yeah, with the keys to the car at the back.
The rental car?
I guess.
So then what?
When we finished, that's when Roy wanted to drive the car, the rental, back to my dad's place.
Tell you what, Daryl. That'd been my daughter, I would have killed him. I don't care what the law says.
He had this smirk on his face.
Dad went crazy, yelling, and Roy was teasing him.
He was rubbing it in. I just lost it.
And Dad pushed him. And he went over, and there was this terrible cracking sound. And Roy's head just... I didn't know you could just die. Like, instantly.
Yeah, Daryl just panicked. He didn't think we'd believe it was an accident, more or less.
You drove Roy in your rental out to the highway, pushed it off the bend, and torched it.
Then he drove Roy's car back to the Colonel Thomas.
Is it being charged?
Manslaughter.
Well, that's it then, eh?
But look, Tom, no, I made accusations. And, I'm sorry.
Hey, Jay, can I have a word?
Are you sure?
I checked. And it fits the timeline.
The watch and the keys definitely in Tom's office?
I'm really sorry, PJ. I just thought that you should know.
No one left at the pub?
Pub?
Christmas party.
No, I think I might give it a miss.
Your watch. It wasn't in your car. It was on your desk with your car keys, which you also said were in your car.
I must have made a mistake.
I don't think you did. Mark was wrong about you killing Roy.
I am pleased you finally worked that out.
But he didn't get the evidence wrong. He just added it up to the wrong thing. I went to your house. I saw your wedding ring. Your photo of Grace. Your watch was on the desk. Kelly's dad gave you that watch. It has never been off your wrist. You rang your daughter, but you weren't going to see her, were you? You just wanted to hear her voice one last time. You weren't coming back, were you? I don't know what you were going to do, throw yourself off a bridge, drink yourself to death.
It was her birthday. We were going to go away. I was going to take time off.
I won't go in there.
Why not?
I just won't go in there.
There used to be a reason. His job. We're not even doing any good. Roy, Tani, Ryan, Daryl, what's his name? Whole world's gone mad.
You can't think like that.
So what do you do? What the hell do you do?
You do what you told me to do when Maggie died. You get up, you go to work, you put one foot in front of the other, and then one day you smile.
I said that.
Mm-hmm.
Stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
You're telling me.
Not very lucky in love, are we?
So, it's Chrissy party.
Oh, come on,
Come on, Tom. It's a week before Christmas. Come and have a drink.
Oh, look at me. The others, I can't.
Just go home, get changed, and come back. I'll be there. 1 foot in front of the other. Yeah. All right. All right. Thank you.
Oh, there's plenty in here for everyone.
Tom not coming?
No, he's on his way.
Yes, I got him wrong.
You were right about one thing, though.
What's that?
There are 2 Tom Croydons. He's a different man since Grace was killed. I just didn't want to see it.
Right, is there something I should know?
Only that the old Tom Croydon is on his way back.
No sign of him. I'm gonna go have a look around the back.
Sorry. It's all right. Wow, it looks like you're more than qualified to cope with the Rayner family Christmas catastrophe.
I reckon the way you sorted out Roy proves that you'd be able to handle anything the commander might serve up over Christmas.
Go on. It's tradition. Give her a kiss.
Yeah,
come on.
I mean, you can't argue with tradition.
Come on, Santa.
Come on, kids, join in. There you go. There you go. Off you go.
You killed Digger, didn't you?
I didn't.
Didn't you?
No! Okay. Okay, I smashed his stupid head in with a spade. Now for God's sake.
Goodbye, Tani.